Hey, we are back. You know, unfortunately, I'm sitting here with an energy drink. Got in late at the event last night, I must admit. But it was fantastic. But not for me. Let's go ahead and get started. I know you didn't tune in for me. You tuned in for our guest. And let me just talk a little bit about our guest. My guest's passion for holistic medicine was ignited by her success in healing her own high cholesterol, fatigue problems, sugar addictions, adrenal exhaustion, and food allergies. By using food as medicine, she was able to reverse her chronic health issues, and restore her body to optimum healing. She is a traditional naturopathic doctor, holistic nutritionist, and healthy cooking coach. Please, without further ado, welcome to our show, Dr. Deirdre Rawlings. Doc, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you so much, Clark. It's great. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, the pleasure is all of ours and certainly mine. Well, I've got so many questions to start with, Doc. I hope you got a comfortable seat.
I do.
Okay. Excellent. Well, there's so much to get into with you today, but let's start with, if you don't mind, your Guinness Book of World Record dining experience. That was intriguing.
Right, yes. Well, in a past life, I was a triathlete, and the company that I was working for at the time, they were hosting this. They were the main sponsors, actually, for this group of people who wanted to break a world record, and the only thing that they were good at was eating. And so my company pitched in and said, well, we'll pitch in as long as we can send one of our representatives along to go on the program. And they said, well, we need it has to be a female because there were 6 people at the party. It was the world's highest formal luncheon party, and they were having this dinner party in Peru in South America in the Andes. And my company said, and they said, as long as it's a woman, because we only have one seat left, and she has to be a female, and she has to be super fit. And so my company advertised this throughout the network and had this big fitness test and a trial, and I finished up winning, and that was my sojourn into mountain climbing. I'd never done anything like it before, probably never will again. And we had this fabulous trip and climbed this mountain. It was it was 23,000 feet high, and we had the world's highest formal lunch party. So it was a bit silly. It was put on by Chris Darwin, who's Charles Darwin's great-great-grandson. So he was, he said he was only good at eating, and so that's why he put it on. So it was a fun thing.
Oh, wow. Now, you say past life, so I'm assuming that was a while back.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was about 20 years ago now, actually, I think. Yeah. Somebody may have even had a newer record since then in the same category. I really don't know, but we did get a Guinness World Record for it, so that was fun.
Well, certainly an astonishing feat, nevertheless. Wow, what an opportunity to be able to do something like that. I guess it
really was. And everybody on the trip was really well trained for it. They'd been planning it for 2 years. And, of course, I had 2 weeks' notice, so I had no experience whatsoever. The only thing I had going for me was that I was a triathlete and I was really super fit, which is what you had to be to go in high-altitude conditions. And it was a really mixed group of people. They were all, we had a doctor on board who was also one of the cinematographers for us. They made a documentary out of it. But everybody on the trip was really well, very athletic, very fit, so it was quite fun.
Well, 23,000 feet, Doc, I'm a mess in Denver, Colorado, so I can't even imagine what that would have been like for me.
Oh, yeah. It was excruciating in terms of, because we did not have oxygen, and, base camp starts around about 15,000 feet, and that's already, high altitude. And then I think as we got up, I used to get excruciating headaches, and you just have to sort of spend a couple of days acclimating to the change in the oxygen levels or the lack of oxygen. And of course, the trip back down is great because you want to run back down the mountain, get back out of there as quickly as possible. But we had a few little trials. We had a white owl when we got to the summit, and we had to the film crew couldn't film, so we had to go back down beneath the summit and camp out for 2 days, and just we had nothing to do because when you start to get to high altitude, absolutely everything in your backpack gets heavy, and even the book, you throw your book out, the Walkman. But in those days we had Walkmans. Even the labels in your clothing, it was like, what can we get rid of, to make the load lighter? And so sitting there for 2 days,
the labels.
yeah, it was pretty unbelievable.